r/askreddit. What food do you swear people only pretend to like? Chitterlings. My mom-in-law made some at my house, and it smelled like a grown man shitted all over my home and walls. The food I cook for them. Life octopus. Does eating a creature that's actively trying to crawl out of your mouth as you eat it really taste so good that it's worth the trouble and choking hazard? Yeah, this would not be for me. I'm not even that excited about octopus that's already dead. I might be willing to murder my own chocolate cake in an emergency, but octopus? Shark fin soup. I mean, I get that it is seen as a mark of status, but it tastes of nothing and is just generally a bad dish. I have a theory that just about every culture has one food that is absolutely terrible, but was born out of poverty and necessity, and became a staple, and is still made, even though there are better options available, because it's this. Because if it were good, other cultures would absorb it. By being bad, it stays true to its cultural roots. The youngest generation hates it, and doesn't understand why people ever ate this. The middle generation still doesn't like it, but eats it out of respect for tradition. The oldest generation loves it, and relishes lecturing the youngest generation about why this food was made, and why it's a tradition. For China, this is hot water. Oh my god, yes, I hate it so much. I absolutely cannot stand drinking it. It's a cultural mainstay because of lack of ice/refrigeration and needing to boil water to kill bacteria, which evolved into endless superstitions about how cold water is bad for you, which evolved into an entire country having a taste for the worst way to drink water. Ugh, we have a dish like this in my family. Reception salad, lemon jello, cream cheese, canned pineapples, pecans, pimento, whipping cream. It is so gross, but my grandma has been making for forever and thinks everybody loves it. My dad and aunt who grew up with it do love it, but everybody else gets a small polite spoonful to push around on their plate on Thanksgiving and Christmas. I was super excited to try fry bread when we stopped to eat on a Native American reservation, but it was very underwhelming. Basically flour, water, baking powder deep fried, ultimate poverty food. It made me really think about what a lot of people on reservations still have to live on due to poverty. Surely pig intestines are an exception to your so-called rule. They're awesome, as long as you properly squeeze the shit out of them first. And by that I don't mean squeeze them hard, I mean literally get all the feces out before eating. Do you really expect us to swallow that tripe? Natto, a Japanese dish of fermented soybeans, with a taste, texture, and smell that makes you wish human senses did not exist. Came here to say natto. My wife loves it. She orders it every time we get Japanese food, which is at least once a week, and every time I try it again, just to see if I'll enjoy it this time. Nope. The vast majority of the posts are just personal preference like avocados, mushrooms, and onions, but I just can't imagine how anyone can actually enjoy Ballet, a developing duck fetus in the egg. I grew up in India, and my grandfather owned a farm in the village the farm was in. So we got a steady supply of delicious milk straight from the cow. So when I grew up and stayed in London for a year, I was absolutely disgusted at the sight and taste of 2% milk. Fucking disgusting paint water. Candy corn. I like it, and I think even I'm faking it. Caviar. How do raw rat's fish eggs taste so remarkable? Pig brains. Yes, people eat it. Circus peanuts. Gross. Fick you, those are delicious. The harder and more stale the better. Lolly bananas are the best lollies, excluding maybe teeth and milk. That sounds weird and anyone reading this in the future is gonna be confused. Can confirm. I'm in the future, and I'm confused AF. Gefilte fish. I know for a fact no one likes. Brie rind. Tastes like a poorly mopped floor. Larquois. Edit. All of you Larquois lovers are subhuman. You too bubbly, thanks for the silver. Ah yes, the drink that tastes like someone who just ate fruit and burped into a can of carbonated water. Here in the south, crawfish. So much work for so little reward, and I really think people just like the spices, potatoes and cold beer. If they weren't covered in delicious spices and revered, would people still enjoy crawfish? Probably not. The only other crawfish dish I've ever had is etouffee, and was still not impressed. Kastur an Icelandic dish made by taking a piece of shark meat and burying it underground to ferment it for up to 12 months. It has a smell of ammonia and the consistency of cream cheese. I highly doubt that anyone likes this because fresh shark meat is poisonous and fermenting it is the only way of getting rid of the toxins. Fat. Specifically the visible slimy fat on any cut of meat. Ever since I was a kid it's made me wanna vomit. The fat on chicken thighs or lamb or a big bit of steak. I cannot fathom how anyone thinks it's edible. Doesn't matter who I'm with or how fancy the occasion. If I accidentally put some in my mouth I have to spit out or I'll be sick. I'd spit that shit out in front of the queen. Durian. As a Southeast Asian, I love durian. Coconut water and almond milk duck, they just so strongly taste awful to me. I can't imagine how people acquire that taste. Although I do have to admit, maybe I'm just getting the wrong brand, but it seems pretty consistent with all the ones I've tried. Truffle oil. It's so gross and not truffle. Quinoa. Bad texture and no flavor? Mon people, barley tastes way better. Raw egg yolk. No way people actually enjoy eating that crap. I don't care what anyone says. Just nasty. Vegemite. Because how? Vegemite is amazing. I feel sad for people who don't appreciate its magnificence. Blue cheese. It tastes like old moldy sweat socks. I'm surprised it's not on the list. I tried it on a hamburger once. You'll love it. It tastes great. I could only get one bite down, and then I was on the edge of throwing up for 2 days. Cauliflower. It's like Shang Tsung kidnapped broccoli, ripped it so out, and then took the flavor with it. Cauliflower is the root of evil. Kale. It tastes like sadness and self-loathing. Eggplant. I love food, and consider myself an adventurous eater. I like trying new things. I have a diverse palate is what I'm trying to say. But duck eggplant straight to hell. And don't give me that you have to purge it with salt garbage. They still taste like the biblical concept of hell. Edit. Thank you for the silver, kind fellow eggplant hater. Gotta be grapefruit. It smells good, I'll give it some credit, but it tastes like battery acid that wants to be an orange so bad. Not a food, but coffee. Artichokes. Their flavor profile is more of an artichoke. That's why you eat it with a half stick of melted butter. Beets. They taste like dirt. Boiled peanuts. Excuse me, what the frick? Whiskey. I've had this theory for years. I swear people just like it because men are supposed to like it. It's raw alcohol infused with wood from the barrels. It's vile. I'm 40 years old and I seriously don't get how people can enjoy spirits. Kale. Full stop. Back when I was on a health kick I bought into the hype so much that I used to eat it by blocking my nose, dousing the kale in lemon juice, and praying to God the taste would go away. Even thinking about it is bringing back horrific memories. Still can't believe I did that instead of just eating broccoli or some shit. Ortolan. It's a bird that is served in French cuisine. People put their heads under their napkins to savor the smell or something like that. I think it's just a rich person thing who would honestly, it's a whole fucking bird under a napkin other than to act like a douche. Expensive wine. It's literally not better than cheap wine at all. People just pretend to like it more because it's expensive. Oysters, aka snot. Moldy cheese, blue Stilton and even brie. It smells like wet unwashed dog. Beer. Name me one person who immediately liked the taste of beer the first time they tasted it. Same goes for coffee. And I mean real coffee, not all the milky coffees. Pomegranate, not as a juice, as the fruit. Slimy pods with hard centers. No thank you. Oh, but did you try them on salads? Yup, slimy pods with hard centers. How about on yogurt? Yup, slimy pods with hard centers. What about in a guac? Slimy pods with hard centers. Yuck. Thanks for watching.